Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Johnny Arnold.
I'm Tina Arnold.
And I'm Meghan Crumpler.
And this is the Flashback Podcast. So, as promised, I have new co-host Tina Arnold, who is my wife, of course, and Meghan Crumpler, friend of the family. And
family.
Right. And so we've brought everybody in to do the Flashback Podcast because Tina insisted that she wanted to do it. So I'm kidding, and I'm very happy that y'all are here with me. And so now I don't have to, be talking to myself all the time.
You're going to do that anyway.
I'm going to do that anyway, is what you said?
Yes.
I just saw.
Are you sure about that?
I just saw a meme the other day that said that all geniuses talk to themselves.
Oh my God, I'm a genius. I told y'all. Oh my God, my head just swelled.
What's wrong, honey? What's wrong, honey? What's wrong?
Well, nothing. Y'all are geniuses.
Took a lot. A lot.
And I promised Aiden that I would stick his little thing, his little pizza that he created at school. I put it up on the wall behind me.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about when I seen that? Freaking
What?
Ninja Turtles.
Now you need to put your Ninja Turtles around it.
I don't have any.
Aw. We've got to get you some Ninja Turtles.
Aiden had some. I don't know what he did with them. I think they got actually
Donate to children,
bagged
I
up
think.
or donated. Oh. All right, so we kind of split everything into like different sections for each person, and so Tina is going to be doing the news from 1984. Oh, and that's the year we're on right now, by the way.
1984. I was 3 years old.
I was in first grade, or going into first grade.
Well, I was 5, going on 6 if you made it to April, but I was 5.
I didn't turn
Just
4
wow.
until the end of the year. In December. So I was 3 the whole year.
That's right. What news stories you got? Anything interesting?
Well. So I'm not sure if you consider these like news stories. So this is what I found. In 1984, the notable things were Michael Jackson getting burned in the Pepsi commercial.
I
Y'all remember that?
I do remember that. Yep.
I do.
That's when
Bless
his
his
hair
heart.
caught on fire, right?
Yes.
From the fireworks or whatever was going off in the background.
Yeah, the pyrotechnics for his concert.
Yep.
Or for the commercial. And I believe that he says that that's what started all the problems that he had with like his skin and stuff.
I heard that he had a skin disease.
I have heard
don't know the
both
name of it.
stories.
Yeah, so I don't really know per se, but I'm sure it contributed. Either way.
I think that stuff like that can kind of set everything into motion. That's what happened to Mary, our daughter.
Like a trigger.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard both stories, that it was a skin disease and that it got started there. But I thought Johnny would like this. You know that Orwell's book 1984,
Yes, ma'am.
it termed the term Big Brother.
Yep.
What?
So like that's where calling the government Big Brother came from.
Like Big Brother's watching.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Oh my
then
God, is that why they...
go ahead.
Sorry, I just thought about the show Big Brother. Is that why they call it that? Because the
Yes.
cameras?
Yep.
She just had
Yeah, I was such a-
wow moment.
Yes, I did. Sorry.
And then something I thought was interesting. AIDS was identified in 1984.
Oh, that's a big news
Mhm.
right there.
Like, they did not know what it was until 1984.
So 1984 is, it had already been killing people or infecting
but they
people.
didn't know.
So that wasn't the year that the government released it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, conspiracy theories. I love those.
I'm not touching that.
Hey, that's part of the show too. So
that's your part.
Yeah, I'm not having them coming down after me. That's that.
I'm not getting canceled. Okay.
They'll come after us.
Reagan was elected for a second term in 84. And I remembered Reagan as president when I started school, but I never realized he did 2 terms.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I loved Reagan. I remember they had us vote for him in the 5th grade, which I guess that obviously must have been his second term. Right?
5th? What, you say 5th grade?
Well, it had to be 5th grade. I think it was 5th grade. That doesn't make sense, though.
No.
Anyways, we did an election in school one time just to see things, and yeah.
Maybe they just made stuff. They were just putting old presidents back in and telling y'all to pick one.
Maybe. I just remember him being in the voting thing, and I absolutely really liked President Reagan. I thought he was a cool president.
I don't remember anything about him. I was too young.
I remember the bring down the wall speech and stuff that they were showing on the news and all that stuff.
Okay.
I remember watching that actually on TV, laying on my nanny's floor when they were like watching the news.
That.
Yeah.
Y'all have to excuse me for some reason. I keep yawning, and I guess it's because I've been up since the crack of dawn.
Sorry. What else you got?
You'll like this one.
I'll be the judge of that.
Tetris came out in 1984.
Sweet. I do like that.
That's a legendary game right there.
I had no idea it had been around that long.
I didn't either.
Yep, that's when it was released.
Was it arcade?
Was I supposed to find that out?
Oh, no, I just figured it.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
What? May I ask you, what year did Atari come out? Obviously, it wasn't that soon.
Atari came out in 76, maybe.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I thought it was later, and maybe I just
it just lasted for a very long time. I want to look it up. Y'all talk amongst yourselves, and I'm actually going to look it up. It was
probably too expensive for me to own when it first came out. That's why I don't remember it until like later.
Oh, well, they're
older.
So there were actually 2, and one came out in 1972, but the one that we remember that was kind of like made out of wood came out in 1977. So it's actually
a year before I was born.
Yep, first released in 1977 for the Atari 2600. Yep, and I have one.
I loved the Atari.
That's the one that had the joystick?
Yeah, you had a single joystick and one button. Yep.
Yeah.
And you were playing around with blocks.
I played Donkey Kong. You remember that?
Ever heard of that?
Do you remember Donkey Kong?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yep, I had that on Atari. And that actually started out as an arcade also.
She got it right. Did you notice that?
That's right.
Yeah, he taught me the other day.
She didn't say King Kong.
I said King Kong. He said, it's Donkey Kong, Megan. Oh, yeah. So I was like, I will not forget this knowledge.
It's Mule Kong.
It's not that I didn't know it. My brain sometimes does this little shuffle and mixes information. It's like a filing habit that just gets mixed. Like a washer.
My brain plays shuffleboards on the weekends.
No, it's all the time, not just weekends.
Right. Okay, my last one is that, and you'll like this, Megan. Prince's album, Purple Rain, came out in 84, which is one of my all-time favorite albums.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
What's your favorite song off that album?
Oh, isn't that got Darling Nikki on it?
Yep.
Yes. That was me and Tina's like jam. We love Darling Nikki. But like that wasn't the same record in Pretty Woman later on, where she's saying, I just want to
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prince was the man.
I remember when he did the Batman soundtrack.
What?
Yeah.
The
1999.
Yep, 1989 Batman soundtrack. They actually came out with 2 soundtracks that were recorded, and one was Prince's full album because he did the entire album for that movie, and then there was the score soundtrack that came out. I have both of them. Yep.
Oh my gosh! Now I have to listen to this because I had no knowledge it came from that. John probably knows.
The score soundtrack is the one that me and Buddy had a car accident to because we were going through the Batcave.
That's so awful.
I may tell that story one day. I don't know.
Yeah, you need to. So I have the prices of everything now.
Yes.
Like
Ooh,
I have
I'd like
the prices from 1984 compared to now.
Yes, that's going to be interesting.
It is. I couldn't believe this. So in 1984, gas was $1.13 a gallon.
Damn.
Oh, I wish.
And now, like today, we paid $2.99 a gallon.
Yep.
Oh, that's on the low end. Because sometimes I've seen it go up almost $4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it fluctuates so much now that they're like average is probably about $3 a gallon.
Right. And that's all this is. All this is averages. Bread in 84 was 66 cents a loaf. And now it's anywhere from $1.87 to $6.
$6?
Mm-hmm. Depending on what kind of bread you get.
What the?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like keto and stuff is like way up there. Anything healthy.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, they jack all the prices up for any healthy stuff. You know.
Right. All of the healthy specialty things are the $6 range. So eggs, y'all.
Oh god, this one's going to be a good one.
This is a great discussion for this time right now. Okay, so eggs were $1.89 a dozen. And now they are $6 a dozen.
Damn. You know what? I really wish that like we had like a price comparison from like last year to now. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. I would love to. We should do something like that one day.
Tina?
I'll look it up.
I actually bought eggs the other day, and I bought the 62 big case, and it was $24. And I thought,
yeah,
that's insane.
I used to pay $9 for that. At one time, I paid $6 for that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought it was lower at one point.
Someone said that it had to do with some kind of flu or some kind of something going on that was causing the price rise.
Oh.
Something to do with there's some kind of
like a bird flu or something.
Something that I don't know if it was a disease or a virus or whatever, but it was something that caused it to go up. Don't come for me. I don't know the technical terms. I just know it has something to do with something bad.
So did you hear if it was released by the government?
Oh my God.
Probably.
Moving on.
You're going to get killed.
Yeah, moving on.
It's over. We're going to be dead.
Moving on.
Period.
The price of a brand new home was around $97,000. The average home now costs $348,000.
Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you could probably get like a really nice house for that price too back then.
Oh yeah, that was Eagles Landing houses.
Yeah. Megan? Did you fall asleep? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Did you just fall asleep?
No, I glanced at my name.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
It looked like she just passed out. Like,
I've seen her do that.
Back in the day when I was undiagnosed with my my sleep apnea, Tina could be talking to me. I could actually have a conversation with you and just go,
Mary used to fall asleep when she was eating her food.
Yeah,
when she was a baby.
I remember that.
Megan would do it riding down the road. No, I'm sorry, driving down the road.
Oh, no. That's
Yeah, but once that started happening, I started pulling over and taking cat naps. That's another whole story. I stopped doing it. Once I realized I was sleepy, I would pull over.
I wonder, like, while you were asleep, how many cats you gave permanent naps to?
I was usually in the car with her. I'd have to wake her up.
I'd be like, look, let's pull over and take a power nap. It was an undiagnosed disease that I had no idea that I was facing. But once I discovered what it was and what the complications were, like I took the notes and started using the machine and stuff. And now I don't do that anymore. Although I'm very tired right now, and I don't know why, except for maybe I've got probably any sleep because of my shoulder
or rabies.
That could be another one. But wouldn't rabies keep me awake?
I don't know. It's going to start the zombie apocalypse. What else you got?
I have one more.
Okay.
Cars. A brand new car averaged $6,300.
Oh, damn.
A new car?
Brand new car.
So
Wow.
where do we find a time machine? Because I need a car. I'd like to go back and buy one real quick.
Hey, you know, the funny thing is like people will buy the cars from the 80s and fix them up, and then they're worth like 50, 60,000 plus some. Like, that's crazy.
And now a car averages $24,000 to $48,000.
Oh, wow.
Damn, trucks are like...
Explains why I don't have a car.
How much is your truck, Johnny?
Huh? Oh.
The one you want?
No, the one I want is like 35. But no, you get the big trucks, and then they start going up into the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
So, let me see. Let me look this up.
So speaking of cars, while you're looking that up, I remember my parents having a Firebird back then, and I thought it was like the ultimate car.
Brand new?
I don't know that it was brand new, but it was pretty.
Oh.
It's a nice little car. I love Camaros and Firebirds and stuff like that back from that time era.
Smokey and the Bandit. Wasn't that that wasn't a Firebird. That was a Camaro, I think.
Yeah. What was the Dukes and Hazzard car?
That... I don't remember.
You want to hear how much? Sorry.
Yeah, how much?
My dream truck is $64,200.
Okay,
Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Where's the camera for me? Can you see?
Turn it over to your right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
You're not going to be able to see it.
There you go. Now turn it towards the camera.
I see it.
Now turn it towards the camera?
Yep. Now turn it to... Yep. There you go. There you go.
So what is this?
What is that?
Oh, I didn't read it.
That is the Titan Pro 4X crew cab. I have a long, long list. There were a lot of good movies that came out in 1984. Like when I was doing the research, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
There was some good ones. I picked my top few favorites, but I can't wait to hear your list.
I'm a movie buff.
Well, let's get into those 1984 movies then.
Well, let's
what you
get
got?
into those 1984
what you got?
movies.
What you got?
First is Firestarter.
Good
I
one.
loved Firestarter. Drew
I
Barrymore,
bet you
young,
did.
piss her off, and she's going to set you on fire. Megan, did you just roll your eyes? Look, she doesn't even know she rolled her eyes. Yeah.
I didn't even realize I rolled my eyes, but maybe you were reading my mind like you usually do.
Hey, wasn't that the movie that her mom was like really hot by the end of the movie?
I thought her mom was deceased, wasn't she? Didn't she live with her daddy?
Shut up, Johnny.
Oh my God. Johnny hot. Never mind.
Next is The Terminator.
I am the Terminator.
Did you realize that came out in 1984?
No, I didn't know exactly what year, but I knew it was early 80s. Well,
I did not realize it was that old. Like, I thought that was a 90s movie.
oh, no. That's when Terminator 2 came out. I think Terminator 2 came out in like 92 or something. Yeah.
So
Can I-
this
can
next
I-
one. Go ahead, Megan.
I was going to have a confession. I've never watched The Terminator. I know your mom would kill me.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
I know of it, and I know that I'll be back.
I know
and
of
shit
it.
like that. But I've never sat down and watched the whole movie.
Dude, you're the first person I've ever known to have never seen Terminator. That's crazy.
I was too busy
Okay.
playing with Barbies or something. I don't know.
You have to move out.
I'm out.
Get down
You're
now.
out. That's your final line, bitch. You're out.
That was it.
That was it.
Why'd you kick Megan out?
We are going to have a movie marathon day.
Of Terminator.
Sounds good.
Yes. Yep.
All of them,
Yes, we cannot let this go.
even Genesis.
Can we
I don't even
add
know
the
if
Star
I've
Wars
seen
to
that
the
one.
collection?
She hasn't seen Star Wars either.
I watched Ewoks.
That's
See
it.
the
You're done. You're done.
I have seen some, just not the whole series. I have seen some. Calm down. I've seen it. I promise.
Can you
Dark
even
Lord.
see my Star Wars clock behind me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
The next one I was really excited about. Y'all, I used to make my mom rent this movie when you could rent movies.
Blockbuster.
Yes, over and over and over until I drove my brother crazy. Splash.
Oh, good
With
one.
Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah, where she's a mermaid.
Yep, I remember that.
That's an excellent one.
She brings him home the big, like, water fountain and puts it in his bedroom. And nobody ever questioned how the mermaid got it up to the top of the apartment complex.
It's magic.
Isn't it weird how there's some movies like that? Like, I have one, if you think about Back to the Future, where the dog is alive in the past and in the future, and it's like too many years.
Oh, yeah.
Or dogs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like,
It's his descendant.
yeah, that's it. That's it. We'll leave it at that.
It's a clone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is Footloose, which I just learned our children have never seen somehow. And Mary, loving musicals, she has to watch it.
I agree.
She promised me
Let's put
she'd
that
watch
on the
it.
list.
Y'all have fun with that.
Well, you'll
I'll
like the
watch it.
next one.
What
I know you'll watch it with us, Megan. Me and Megan used to have the cassette tape we listened to in the car.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's your next one, honey? You said
Red Dawn.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite movies. Yep.
I've never
Absolutely.
seen it.
I like the newer one too. You've never seen Red Dawn?
I was waiting for it to hit you.
Holy
I just watched it the
God.
other day.
What the hell would I do in these days? I have no idea. There's a lot of movies that you would kill me for.
You
Even in the
literally
future, like
sat in your
Harry
room for
Potter
like 10
series.
years and didn't see any of these movies.
I was playing World of Warcraft
Oh my God.
and watching soap operas.
Holy shit.
I was fighting my own battles, dude.
We have to movie educate her. Movie
Big time.
Kate her.
Movie cater?
Movie cater.
Like sacrilege.
I love it.
It is. And I just watched it the other day and I could have sworn she was in the kitchen. She wasn't
So
paying
we could
attention.
have a whole series of what Megan has not watched and make fun of her. I'm telling you, it's a lot.
That's
That
what's wrong
should be
with
a
her.
new segment on the show.
That
I
should
honestly watched a lot of Christian stuff when I was sick. That's what kind of like pulled me through. So that's what I was doing. Was the Christian channel.
Well, I hope you've seen the next one. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, yes, I had a bad dream about Freddy. He was chasing me, and I was like, what can I do to keep him from killing me? I hung myself in a tree upside down and poured ketchup all over me, hoping he thought he'd already killed me in my dream.
Nice. I heard that's a fetish in some countries.
Ketchup in a tree?
Yeah, and being hung upside down.
You're not right.
So, all right, first person to get this pop quiz correct wins nothing but
accolades.
Yeah, that was it.
What is it?
A cardboard cookie, but I have the copyright on that.
Does it?
My daddy used to tell me that.
Nightmare on Elm Street was the feature film for what big actor?
Johnny Depp.
Got it. Yep.
Do you know why I know that?
Because you've seen Nightmare on Elm Street a million times.
You're a horror buff.
And that scene of his death kept me up for weeks when I was a kid. I was scared to sleep in my bed because it was going to suck me in.
And then spit you out into
Y'all,
big globs of blood.
One of the first people that, if not the first person he kills in that movie is Tina.
Oh, yeah. Tina.
Yes, I had to hear that when I was a kid. Freddie whispering my name.
I've actually heard your kids doing that when we've watched it. Like, say your name like that.
Yep. My brother used to do it.
We should have a marathon of Freddie as well.
Oh, I can't take that.
Why? Is it too cheesy for you?
Yes, it is. The first one is good. After the first one, it just goes to like, it's more like comedy horror.
Okay, Evil Dead.
That's different. That was meant to be comedy horror. Freddy was.
That was Freddy.
Not the first one. They started off as like a dark, like horror movie, and then.
I'm sorry, but I disagree.
But he has always been like somebody with a dark, morbid humor, like where he's like, oh God, what's he say? Something nice treat, fresh meat. You know, it's like he's always tried to be sarcastic in his "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, that's true.
Well, for me, I think what did you call it? Night of the Living Dead. What is it? What was it? Evil Dead or
Evil Dead?
No. Evil Dead, yeah, Army of Darkness.
I think those are hilarious, and I enjoyed them. To me, Freddy's different. I can't compare the two. Like, I took Freddy serious as a kid, and like 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. That shit scared the shit out of me.
Okay, but did you see Evil Dead when you were a kid or an adult?
Adult.
Okay,
actually,
there's
John
the difference.
Me to Evil Dead, and I just think it's cheesy as shit, and I laugh about it.
Have you seen the new Evil Dead? The newer?
I think I might have. We did like a movie night thing where we just watched a lot of crazy shit.
I can't wait for the new one.
Me either. That one's.
There's another one coming.
Yeah, called Evil Dead Rising or Evil Dead Rise.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yep.
That one's gonna be crazy. Like, that's gonna be crazy.
They're all pretty crazy.
Yeah. But I don't know. The Red Band trailer is like, it's gonna be good.
Okay, my next movie is Children of the Corn, Johnny's favorite.
No.
Oh my God, I haven't seen it since I was a child. We should watch that too.
Yeah, my kids love that. They love Children of the Corn.
I don't remember the gist of it. Like, I just remember the kids walking through the cornfield and being like killing everybody.
They took notes from that movie. What are you talking about?
Our kids?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Fun fact, I wanted Malachi for all of our children if they were going to be a boy, and Johnny shot it down every time.
I love that name.
He wouldn't let me do it.
Can't do that.
16 candles.
Look, I mean, I liked that when I was I can still watch that movie. I like all of
16 candles?
Yeah. Isn't that the one with the redhead chick?
Yeah, Molly Ringwald.
Yes, Molly Ringwald. She was amazing. She's like one of my favorites.
I like movies like that, like Breakfast Club and all that stuff.
Yeah. Tina, that is actually, I made a list of like my favorites, and that was one of them. I had the biggest crush on Jake.
Really, Jake?
Girls did. Yeah. I
didn't like Jake.
Who did you like?
You won't believe me.
Sure, I will. I will.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Is that the one where he stands out of the window and he's got the boombox or something?
No, that's Say Anything.
No, yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, he actually played in quite a few of the 80s Bratz movies. He played in the Pretty in Pink, didn't he? Was it Pretty in Pink?
Breakfast
or was
Club.
it the other one? Breakfast Club, but he also played in another one. It wasn't Pretty in Pink, but there was another one that was similar. Do you remember it?
Mm-mm.
Weird Science.
I have to think of it. Oh,
Weird Science,
Weird Science. I loved that movie. Classic. One of my favorite movies.
But they are not from 1984, so Moving on. Night of the Comet.
Well, I've never seen that.
I know I've seen it. I just can't remember.
Okay. Night of the Comet was one of my favorites when I was a kid. It's the one where you could only survive if you were in like some kind of steel building. And two sisters survived. But like nobody else in their town did except for a handful of people. And so I loved this growing up. The whole idea of like you're just the only ones there. You can go to the mall, get whatever you want, drive whatever car you want, whatever house you want, claim it. That was Night of the Comet. Except that they ended up running into bad guys.
I kind of remember that. I do kind of remember that. I'm going to have to watch it again because...
She got your cat.
I see that.
She wants to be held. I can't say no to her. You know how she is. She likes to like get on your shoulder and shit.
Don't let her do that.
Why?
Yeah, because you don't want cat shit on your shoulder, Megan.
I mean, why not?
Okay. Gremlins.
Yes.
That's an awesome.
I think everybody on this show right now is like a big fan of Gremlins. Yep.
You have the Gremlins in your background, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
My first hamster, or maybe it was Jason's and I just claimed it, was named Gizmo.
Really?
Yep. I loved Gizmo. Gremlins was one of my favorites. And you know what's funny? I've tried to share it with my kids, but it scared them.
There's a third one coming out. They're working on a third one right now.
I question when they remake stuff. It's never the same or as good. I'm going to be really honest with y'all.
That's why I started this podcast.
It really disturbs me because there's a lot of movies that I could touch on where they tried to make a sequel or a prequel or a new version. I'm like, why did you touch that? Mm-hmm. Just no. Leave it alone.
All right, Johnny. Ghostbusters.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm okay with them continuing with that.
Yes, because they did a wonderful job on the new ones.
Yes.
Not the female
2016, one. No. Or whatever it was. No.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, my God.
That's a classic. I watched that movie. It must have been Animal House that my parents went to their first date on because it was before 1984. So, but Revenge of the Nerds was amazing. Obviously, I couldn't watch it at first because it was later on.
Revenge of the Nerds. Oh, no, that was Animal House.
Yeah, it was Animal House.
And you also had Porky's back then. That was like in the same genre.
But that was from 1981.
Yeah.
It's funny that you thought of that, though, because I did, too.
And then Porky's Revenge.
I'm going to have to watch that shit again. I love that kind of stuff.
Do not watch Porky's in the living room.
No. I'm in my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom.
No. I watched that as a kid, but I don't want my kids watching that.
No. I remember hiding behind my parents' what's those recliners while they were watching something, and I sat behind the recliner. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I got a glimpse of Porky's Revenge at the drive-in, and my mom and my stepfather, they were dating at the time, and we went to the drive-in, and neither one of them knew what the movie was about or anything. And so when it started getting into the crazy stuff, I was told to get in the back of the into the back of the station wagon, and I was to cover my eyes, and I ended up going to sleep and missing the...
Yeah. See, I didn't have that growing up. My parents just let me watch. I watched a lot of movies like this. Their hand would just fly up over my eyes.
Okay, not see, can't see. Go
right.
down. Yeah.
So
okay, you're safe now.
A lot of the stuff, they wouldn't make us leave. They just covered our eyes for it.
Well, I guess it was maybe a little harder in the car. I don't know, but
I think they just wanted you to go sleep.
Yeah, probably. We're having a makeout session.
Very first scary movie I ever seen at the movie theater, and that was like the Psycho movie. I don't remember what year that was. It just made me remember when my mom and my grandmother was like, cover my eyes when bad shit happened.
It's kind of funny you said that, because I remember the very first rated R movie I ever saw was The Crow in the theaters.
Really?
Nope. At the theater, without like anybody with me. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
The Karate Kid.
Yes.
Yes. That's also on my list, and I had the biggest crush on Daniel.
Yep, me too.
Y'all know there's a TV show, Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like Johnny.
Netflix.
Not you.
I haven't seen it. I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen it. Isn't it on Netflix?
Yep. It's got both of them. It's got Daniel and whatever the hell his name was.
Yes, Sensei.
Yeah. All right, so y'all are going to make fun of me, but I was really big into Karate Kid. My brother was into Karate Kid. I loved Daniel, and Johnny was an asshole, and he was a bully. So even as an adult, the feelings that I had towards that character, I cannot get past it. So I can't watch him.
That means he was a really good actor.
I get that. Really good actor that I can't watch.
Now let's define really good actor.
Well, he made me believe that he was that asshole. And it stuck with me for a lifetime.
Huh. I've seen a lot of stuff like that lately on TV.
The Never-Ending Story, y'all.
Love it. Love
it. You know, they have a Never-Ending Story, too.
Yes, and I love Jonathan Brandis, but you can't beat the first one.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
What?
No, I haven't. But I've seen the first one. I love it.
Never gets old. It's a never-ending story.
Yeah, I prefer the first one over the second one. Much better.
Now, this next one, people probably aren't going to remember this, but me and Jason loved this. Streets of Fire.
Part of it.
Dial tone goes.
Yep. It was a really good movie, y'all. You know Diane Lane from The Outsiders? Mm-hmm. She was in it. She was the love interest.
She's awesome.
So if you haven't seen that, you need to go and check it out. It's a good one. As Michael Parr and Diane Lane.
Michael Parr?
Okay.
What was the name of their band in that movie? Hold on. There was a movie that he was in around this same time. And I used to torment Jason with this one too.
Michael Parr?
Mm-hmm. P-A-R-E. I'm probably not saying it right.
Oh, I don't.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh.
That came out in 83 though, so I missed it.
I didn't put that on my list.
Of course not. But Eddie and the Cruisers was my thing. The Last Starfighter.
Oh yes, yep. We just watched that.
I watch it every year.
I've not seen it.
We're going to have to just like tie her to the couch and tape her eyelids open and make her watch all these movies.
Yeah.
Starman.
Loved it. Saw it in the theater.
Fantastic movie.
Saw Ghostbusters in the theater too.
She said
I haven't seen it.
Jeez.
Shoot me. I know. I deserve to be shot. Just shoot me.
Pew, pew. Supergirl.
Saw it in theater.
Never seen it.
Megan, I knew it was going to. Never saw it.
Our family
What was I doing as a child?
I don't know. Idea. Eating Play-Doh.
Or the
Probably.
glue. Eating glue. Paint
I
chips.
did eat dog food one time as a kid.
Oh my God. See?
And I was around that age, 5 or 6, and my neighbor, who I had a crush on at the time, wanted to play circus, and he had dried dog food, and he gave it to me because I was an animal. And I remember my mom telling me that a little bird told her that I ate dog food, and I was like, what? Obviously, she must have caught me and seen me through the window, but she tried to make me believe, like, she had this little bird that told her that I had ate dog food.
I think that's when dog food was made out of lead.
Oh my God.
Are you trying to say something about me?
No.
I didn't eat a lot. I just wanted to do it because I wanted to I liked the boy. I know.
Okay, so our family loved Superman. Like, we watched all of them.
Yep.
When Supergirl came out, I just thought it was awesome that there was a girl superhero. And it was Helen Slater, right?
I don't remember what her name is.
Oh, see, I know what Superman is. Kent Clark. Yeah, okay.
Kent Clark, huh? Is that reading it off of his ID or something?
Am I saying it wrong? Correct me.
Clark.
Clark.
Yes.
Clark Kent. Oh, shit. I was reading it backwards. I mean, I am dyslexic.
She's reading it backwards.
Where are you reading it from? Your brain?
Cells.
Yeah, it was Helen Slater.
I'm dyslexic.
I never knew what her name. I never knew what her name was.
Yeah, she's the girl that played Billie Jean in The Legend of Billie Jean.
Billie Jean. All right.
Oh.
My last one is The Toxic Avenger.
Yes, I remember that one too.
I used to watch that up all night.
Do you remember the cartoon? You remember the cartoon? They had a Toxic Avenger cartoon too.
Kind of.
I think it was like mid to late 80s or something like that. But yeah, they had a cartoon. What?
Should be. I've not seen it. But I have seen Up All Night. And I could have seen it on there and just don't know the name.
Oh, you don't forget Toxic Avenger. It kind of burns into your brain.
Yeah, he's like a melty dude.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
That was the end of my list, y'all, of movies from the 84.
From the 84.
So
from 84, sorry.
I have one to add. The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah, I saw that on there.
I love the Muppets. I couldn't leave that out. That was a kid show, or a kid movie.
I love the Muppet Babies. I wasn't into like the Muppets.
Yeah, I love.
I'm really surprised you didn't put the Woman in Red on that one.
List. I didn't see that on the list.
And Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
I thought I had Indiana Jones, but I didn't see it when I came back to the list.
And Dune.
I've never seen Dune.
Me neither.
Well, we're not surprised about that, Megan.
I'm on a roll.
You should win a prize for the least movie seen ever.
Where's my carbo cookie? Period.
I got a paper pizza back here.
I love it. That's about the only carbs I can have. Do cardboard count as carbs? I don't know.
It's not cardboard, it's paper, and I don't think you should eat it.
Give me cardboard carbs. Never mind.
No. All right. Megan's going into crime. Crime from 1984.
Oh, Lord. Can I add something before we go into crime?
Sure. What you got?
I had some lists of toys that I liked back then and some music that I liked.
Okay. What you got?
So for my music, I was a big Madonna fan. Mm-hmm. And I would often like to dress up obviously I still like to dress up, but I would do the whole dress up thing and dance on coffee tables and stuff to her music. And then Michael Jackson and Prince, but Madonna was my girl.
I wanted to marry
That's who
Michael Jackson
Me too.
when I was little.
He was handsome. I had a crush on him. And I remember one time I had his cassette tape and I lost it. And I cried and begged Lord. That was one of the major prayers I remember saying, God, please help me find his cassette tape. Please, I'll do anything. At like 5 years old. It was insane. And I want to actually show you some pictures. I have one of me dressed up as like trying to be Madonna, and then one with me a Thriller shirt on. Which brings me to the toys. I had one of those plastic necklaces with the little plastic charms. Was one of my favorite things ever. That, obviously, Care Bear, Viewmasters, and My Little Pony and Rainbow Bright.
Rainbow Bright was my thing. Rainbow Bright and Strawberry Shortcake.
Love Strawberry Shortcake too. Wasn't sure what year that came out, but those were my go-tos.
You know, I'm curious to know that. I have a story about Strawberry Shortcake.
I actually had a Strawberry Shortcake bed set when I was a kid. It was like a canopy set.
Oh, 79, missed it.
I actually have a list of cartoons that came out in 1984.
Ooh, I would
cool.
love to hear that.
Well, I want you to do the crime first. All
Tell
right.
me.
So Megan is covering this 1984 crime story. So let's check it out. Come on, Megan.
Pick it up. Okay.
Do it,
First of all, I do want. I'm pulling it up, boss. Hold on 1 second. This is my first time spitting shit out.
To the day, Junior.
She spit shit out all day long.
But no, this is the first time I ever have to lie. You know, I will say this: I hate to say I love crime because, but I'm a crime listener junkie.
We love true crime stories.
I will get ready in the morning, sit in the bathtub, and listen to crime. I don't know what it is, but it just intrigues me. I'm always like, why did they do that? I mean, I could never do it myself, but whatever.
Do they have fat serial killers?
Probably not.
Many of them.
I don't know that. Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess most serial killers are men.
You know, I don't mean that kill fat people.
No. I mean,
And I'm not talking about cereal.
oh, never mind. I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was cheesy. So this crime takes place, obviously, in 1984. It kind of ties in with multiple stories. The person being accused, his name is Alex Ewing, spelled Ewing, but they pronounce it as Ewing. This happened near Denver, Colorado, and there was a woman named Patricia Smith who, I don't know if you can say sexually assaulted on YouTube, so we'll just say assaulted. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
S-aid. S-aid.
Okay, S-aid. Okay. So this crime is in 1994. There was a lady named
94.
Patricia Smith.
84?
84. Holy crap. Where am I? Okay, rewind time. Okay, Blockbuster, rewind. Make sure you rewind, or you'll be fined 50 cents. Was it 50 cents you get?
Don't trail.
Rewind. Okay, I'm good at that. So in 1984, there was a woman named Patricia Smith who lived with her daughter and 2 grandchildren. She was found sexually. Do it again. She was found.
It's okay, Megan. Just
S-aid.
S-aid. This is fucking crazy. Okay, she was found S-aid and bludgeoned with a hammer. For years, they could not figure out who done this. Her grandson often blamed himself because he left the garage door open, which is how the intruder got in. 6 days later from this crime, a family by the name of the Bennett also had something similar happen to them. The intruder came through the garage. They took out the father with a hammer. They took out the mother with a hammer as well. And then they essayed one of the children. There was 2 children. They did find DNA on the child who had just turned 8 years old the night before. And then there was a small child named Vanessa, who was 3, who luckily clung to life and survived the attack. They were all hit like bad with hammers. So back then in 1984, even though they had like DNA swatches, there was no way to identify, or they didn't have the knowledge in the lab crime, however they do it back then. So they sat on it. Years later passed, and they ran the DNA, and luckily they found a match from a prisoner who had been in jail 12 days after the crime. So this whole time he has been behind bars, luckily. He had been tied into another crime where he had attacked another gentleman who he killed with a hammer, and 2 other people that he attacked with an axe. He couldn't get charged. I know, this man was crazy. He could not get charged. This is what pisses me off. Back then in 1984, they didn't allow, it was like a statute of limitations where they could not charge someone
for murder?
Attempted murder. Because 2 of the victims later on survived, 2 of the men. They couldn't charge for attempted murder past 3 years, which is really insane. If you try to kill somebody, it doesn't matter how much time passes by. I call bullshit. If you commit a crime, you commit a crime. But he did get charged with the Bennett family 37 years later, finally. And he's rotting in prison forever.
Good. That's where he belongs.
Is he still alive?
Currently that I've read that he is. He denies obviously doing this to the Bennett family, but I mean, you cannot deny DNA and the pattern of the weapons that he's using and stuff. But he's trying to fight it. I am just very pleased to hear that he was put away 12 days after that crime. So the judge that threw him in there knew that he was dangerous. And because there's no telling how many people he would have killed had he not been locked away for that other.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that you don't know what he's done prior to that, where he was arrested outside of the murders. So he could have been like a serial killer or something, like, for real.
I think he's already considered a serial killer.
Yeah.
But
I think he was too. I mean, let's see, he was Patricia, the Bennett family. There was 3 people in that family. Another gentleman. That right there is 5 people. I would consider that a serial killer for sure.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But there could have been a lot more victims, is what I'm saying.
I have a question for y'all. How do y'all feel about them taking DNA from genealogy? Because I'm not sure what I'm saying, like the Ancestry.com, because I think that's how they did it, was they matched his DNA later down the road to his ancestors, which I don't think I have a problem with, personally. But how do y'all feel about that?
Well, I don't know. That's kind of a tough question. I think you got the whole line of invasion of privacy kicking, and so that would be a hard one. I think that if law enforcement actually knows, has like a really straightforward idea of who it is, they just need to get that proof, then I think that's ideal. I don't like the idea of the government just saying, hey, I'm just going to go into this DNA bank and take whatever I want, because that's an overreach.
I think what they're doing nowadays, and I think what happened here, was the people who had the work done or had the ancestry signs a waiver to allow them to do testing.
Right. Well,
so, you have to get permission, I think, probably.
Yeah, if they give permission, that's a different story. But not for just the government just to come in and be like, hey, we're going to take this DNA and do whatever the hell we want with it and then be done with it. I don't like that, but yeah, get permission first and then go in and do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm okay with that.
I feel like I'm on the fence because in one way, like I totally agree with you about the aspect of privacy and you don't have a right to invade my space. I didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, there are some crazy people out there who deserve to be put away or be put to death. And if they're not stopped, bad shit can happen.
It's a catch-22.
In my brain, it's like, yeah, it's a catch-22 for me.
Well,
kind of like the way I feel with the death penalty. It's
well, so let's look at it this way. So if they already have somebody in there, they already know pretty much who it is. They can get a warrant for their DNA. So all they do is swab at the mouth, and then they can compare the DNA that they have already stored in for evidence. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to go to somebody else's DNA to track somebody down, because if they already know the lineage of whoever it is that is a suspect, then there's no reason to mess with the family. They just go straight to the source.
Okay. Well, while I was doing this research, not going to get into the details of this other crime, but there was a gentleman who had committed a crime as well that was matched for the DNA years later. And obviously they couldn't just swab him because it's illegal. If you don't say yes to something, they can't get it. But what they can do is if you throw shit out in the curb and it's just waste,
yes,
it no longer belongs to you. You are freely giving that stuff up, and then they can dig in your garbage and take what they want.
And that is lawfully obtained. Yep, that is 100% true. Yep.
That was another crime, but I'll tell you about that one.
Oh, okay.
Unless y'all want to hear it. It's a short one.
I mean, it's up to you. Yeah.
It kind of pissed me off, too. So there was a gentleman, his name is Michael Sharp, who was a CEO of a school of some sort. Yeah. Some type
CEO of a school?
Hold on. I'll just get the notes up real quick because I think this was cold case number 2. Yeah. So Michael, he was a CEO of a charter school. What is a charter school by chance? Y'all know what charter school means?
I'm not really sure, but I think they kind of like they can teach the way that they want to teach, and it's kind of like the next thing to be in a private school, I guess, but it's publicly funded. And a lot of charter schools, they actually have like uniforms and stuff that the kids have to abide by. Okay,
so this gentleman, Michael Sharp, he was the CEO of a charter school who was later fired because he lied on his resume about like his past crimes and stuff, where he had embezzled over $100,000. So he was in trouble for that already. But fast forward, there were 4 women that he essayed during 1984. Did I say it correctly?
Women is already plural.
What did I say? Women's?
Women.
Sorry. I mean, fishes, you know me. So he essayed 4 women in this time frame. But the way they caught him was basically they had DNA, but they could not match it with anybody till years later, like 34 or 37 years later, by obtaining his garbage. That he had set out. They had found documents with his name on it and a belt in the garbage that belonged to him that matched DNA that they had found on sheets and things like that. But this is what really pissed me off about this story. There was also a statute of limitations. They could not charge him for the assaults because it went too long. But they did charge him for 4 first-degree kidnapping charges. So he is in jail at 71 years old and will never really get out. But again, it pisses me off with these statute of limitations. If you commit a crime, there should be no time. Just because you got away with it for so long, there should be no time frame on that. Period.
Now, I wonder if this is like state to state, because like Bill Cosby's situation, for one, They came in and they said 40 something years later, and he's sitting in prison right now. So
yeah, maybe it is state to state. I don't know. We'll have to look into that because that's very interesting.
He's not in prison.
He's not.
They released him.
Oh. Well, either way, he did go to jail for.
Yes, he did.
So that's what I don't care about the whole Bill Cosby situation. I'm just saying. I'm just asking if it's like state to state because of.
Look, dude, I just wanted it to be accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. You'd think I'd know that as much as I listen to crime shit, like literally. But yeah, it was really messed up. I don't agree with statute of limitations on any crime. If you are really, really guilty, now I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that falsely accused. That's why I have trouble with the death penalty at times, because there are people who are really innocent in jail.
Right.
And sometimes I question, like, how did you throw away the key? And then you got other people like O.J. Simpson who gets away with crazy shit. And obviously he's guilty as hell. So, yeah. I think that's why I'm, in my opinion, okay? I'll just say, in my opinion, he's guilty.
Well, I mean, he did lose the civil suit. So, I mean, he just didn't go to prison for it. But
yeah.
That's still a stigma. Who?
The other woman who was accused of killing her, Casey Anthony.
Oh God, they actually have a.
She got away. They've got a documentary on that too, which I have watched.
You've seen it?
Yeah, some people watch it because they don't want to support her, but I'm curious what she had to say. And it's an interesting concept, but I still can't say.
You did?
For me. It's interesting, like, where she goes, and it makes me question things, but still, regardless whether you did it or not, the fact that you went that many fucking days, excuse my French, but that many days without reporting your child gone, you are guilty.
It was literally...
Whether you did the crime or not, you are guilty for taking that long, because I would never do that. I don't even have children, but if I did, no. 5 minutes, you're gone, and I'd be like, where's my kid? Where's my kid?
It was literally 31 days. And
yeah.
Dude, and just when you watch the documentary and the way that she acts and talks and stuff, it really just seems like a bunch of bullshit. But I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that she did it or not, but I'm just saying it seems very suspicious to me.
Right, but she had some very interesting things. If you haven't watched it, it's an interesting watch.
All right, so. I'm getting
That's
out your.
For my crime shit.
Yeah, we're gonna get away from that depressing shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some 1984 cartoons.
Yes,
because I got a list. Muppet Babies.
Okay, can we all sing the theme song?
I don't know all of it.
Yeah.
Or you could say that part.
Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies.
Come true.
That was a legend.
I think they actually remade that or something.
No, can't remake it.
Yeah. The Get Along Gang. The Get Along Gang.
Oh.
My little travel suitcase when I was a little girl was the Get Along Gang.
I love the Get Along Gang.
It was red, and it had all of them on the front.
Tom
Get Along Gang had the moose in it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I think he was like the gang leader, and they would go out and pop cap.
The moose gang leader.
I've always liked moosies.
You can't say that.
It's a moosie.
Oh.
You can't say moosey?
I'm kidding, Megan.
I was like, oh.
Thomas and Friends. Our kids used to watch this. The Train.
Really?
Yeah. Came out in 1984. Yep.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
No.
I don't know if Megan will remember this. And I'm pretty sure Tina will not remember this. But Challenge of the GoBots. Or the GoBots.
I didn't watch it.
They were like the generic version of Transformers.
Transformers, yep.
Nope.
And then there was Dragon's Lair, which was based on a video game. And of course, I know y'all are going to know this. My Little Pony and Friends.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The My Little Ponies.
It starred. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. You know what I was about to do?
Yes. Okay. Move along.
Yeah. Heathcliff.
Loved Heathcliff. Oh my God, I forgot about him.
And this is the year that Rainbow Bright came out.
Oh, I love her Rainbow Bright. I'm going to get a Rainbow Bright tattoo.
I think you should. I love Rainbow Bright.
I always liked it when she fought Rainbow Dim.
I don't know that part. I don't remember that. Is he making shit up again?
You are Rainbow Dim.
Oh, shit. What about the Snorks?
Oh, snorkels! I love them. The little things in the water with the little...
See, I thought they were called snorkels, too.
But they're called the Snorks. That's the Mandela effect. Because we've crossed paths with other dimensions due to...
What did you say the difference is? What's the Mandela?
He said they're called the Snorks.
I thought they were snorkels.
I always called them snorkels.
Let me make sure. I'm going to look it up real quick and make sure that I'm right. But I am.
He said, but I am.
But I am right.
It's Snorks.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Y'all.
It is a
my gosh, I thought it was the snorkels.
Okay, look, if you remember them as the snorkels, you have to comment and let me know because that trips me out.
I remember them as the snorkels. I thought that's what it was. And they came out on Saturday mornings for me.
Y'all got a bad case of the Mandela effect. That's what it was.
Oh, God,
and I'm going to be honest with you. When I was doing my research, I actually thought that they were snorkels before I actually found out that they were snorks.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucked up.
And
we need to do a series on that, the Mandela effect.
I was trying to poke you, Megan.
I'm poking you back.
And then the last one on the list is the Transformers.
Love Transformers.
Love Transformers.
Sorry, not Double Sign. Love.
Love.
Oops. All right, so I also did a list
of movies
of music albums, honey.
Oh,
you already had all the movies that I already had, and I just added the extra 3 in there. So let's. This is I only did 10.
Quit looking at your phone, Megan.
Damn it!
I'm sorry, I was picking up my fashion notes. You know.
No, we're not there yet, Megan.
I'm sorry, babe. Sorry.
All right, so biggest. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess biggest music albums in 1984, Van Halen, and it was actually called 1984. Very good.
It was not my thing.
Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Yes.
Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Love Metallica.
Name a song off of that album.
I cannot anymore. I had them all.
I don't know if I remember Metallica, but I don't know.
No, I used to be a big Metallica fan.
Was.
I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
I only know Enter Sandman album.
That was their.
I don't know when that came out.
That was their last good one. That was their last.
That was the one I knew too.
Was one on Ride the Lightning? I can't remember. I really don't remember. REM Reckoning.
REM.
Yeah, I never really got into REM. Tina Turner, Private Dancer.
Oh. Ooh.
Private dancer, dancing for money. I do what you want me to do.
And then
that's not Tina Turner.
That's just what I think of when I hear it.
But that's exactly what I think about too.
And then Tina's already mentioned this, Prince, Purple Rain. And then Madonna, Like a Virgin.
Yeah. She had that borderline.
And then Depeche Mode, Some Great Reward. I remember the name of this group, but I don't really know I don't remember listening to them or anything. It's called Kool and the Gang.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Oh, I love Kool and the Gang.
Name a song.
God, that was a legend. Don't they have Celebration?
I think so.
Yeah. I love Cool Gang.
That was skating rink music.
And then Tina's favorite band, U2, The Unforgettable Fire.
You know what I think of every time I hear U2?
What?
The foot video.
The foot video.
Yes, he's sitting in a chair and they're all like putting their feet on his face.
God.
Gross.
That sounds like some OnlyFans shit. I'm sorry.
That's footfetish.com.
I'm going to show you after this.
I don't really want to see it.
It's on onlyfeet.com. Sorry.
Ugh.
Next.
Oh, that was it. That's all I got.
Oh.
Nice.
So
Not a lot of good music in 84.
No, I only did top 10. What? Say
Wasn't Thriller part of that? Michael Jackson's Thriller?
I don't know. I just got what I saw. I have no idea. I think that actually came out, a year or two before that. Because I kind of remember I remember doing a show and it had Thriller
82.
On it. Yeah, 82. I already did a show for that one.
Fair enough. I had a Thriller shirt in that age group. But
you would have known if you watched it.
Rest in peace. I might have, but I don't remember shit ever. You know me. You can ask me if I hate something. I'm like, what? I've never had that.
Well, now you got to watch it because you're on it. So it's like, build those diffusers. Shit, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, 1984 video games. And Tina's already got one of these. Tetris. And Excite Bike. And Duck Hunt.
Oh, I was so good at that.
Marble Madness. You don't remember that, do you? Pitfall 2. King's Quest. Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. And they have a newer Wolfenstein video game. It's a shooter. Impossible Mission, Pac-Land, and Mario Brothers Special.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yay!
You remember the Pac-Man cartoon?
I do.
And let's see. Oh, so I did my video games, and now it's time for Megan to go into talking about
fashion.
Yep.
Fashion. So obviously today I decided to dress up.
What, Tina?
I was just going down a rabbit hole because you said King's Quest.
Mm-hmm.
I think I used to like playing this.
Yeah.
I'm looking because it struck a chord. Like I thought I'd heard of it. There's a game that I used to love to play and I'd lost it and I didn't remember the name of it and I've been looking for it for years and I think that's it.
That's interesting.
I'll have to look at it.
Retro.
I'm actually surprised you don't remember Dragon's Lair because that was like, I mean, even though it didn't come out in 84, but like, it was the only video game out at the time that looked like a actual cartoon that you would get to play. And they actually feature that game in Stranger Things, I think.
Oh.
They were playing at the arcade. So. Anyway. Go ahead, Megan.
So for fashion, obviously, since I was doing the whole fashion thing, I thought I would do the whole fashion look with my makeup and then jewelry. I don't have any 80s clothes, but that's okay. So for fashion, the main things that were popular were miniskirts, musical and muscle shirts, pinstripe baggy jeans. Do y'all remember pinstripe jeans at all? Or distressed. You have to look them up because I remember them. Once I Googled it, I was like, oh yeah, okay. So
I remember being stuck in a lot of corduroy when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Distressed pinstripe boyfriend jeans. I don't know what the term boyfriend jeans means, but I remember the pinstripe pants. I said wash jeans.
Oh yeah.
Heavy eyeliner. Pink, purple, and blue eyeshadow. That's the kind of look I want today.
Yep.
Sometimes muted lips or hot pink lips. perms were a very big trend, and mullet.
Mullet, Johnny.
Men like to wear. Oh, and net shirts. Net shirts.
Let me get my
muscle shirts, net shirts.
Let me get my hair off my neck. Hold on, didn't acid wash, didn't that come back in the 90s? Because I remember that like being a big thing in like the 90s also.
Everything always comes back.
The mullet's back now. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
When you were growing your hair out, yours was doing a little bit of mullet, wasn't it, Tina?
I actually kind of like the mullet the way they wear it now.
Some of those country singers look kind of cute with it. I ain't gonna lie.
Look at Johnny.
We should grow yours out like that, Johnny.
He hates the mullet.
It won't happen. Nope.
Damn it.
But I might bring the rat tail back.
Oh, I had a rat tail. I followed the New Kids on the Block, and Jordan and I had a rat tail, and I had one in my 7th grade picture.
Anakin Skywalker had one.
I love it.
He had it braided. It was so pretty.
That's why Jordan did it.
Huh?
Maybe. If I ever cut my hair off, I'm going to leave a rat tail like that next time.
Oh
God, I just went really country real quick. What the fudge?
You never leave. It just stays with you all the time.
I have a different personalities and different voices, and they just kind of like rotate and switch. New person comes in.
She's going to be moving out sooner than we thought. Because they're going to pick your ass up now.
All right, so harm anybody.
Huh?
At least I can't go to jail if I don't harm anybody. At least not this version of me.
They wouldn't put you in jail.
They put me in a nutter. I've been there before. It's okay.
So I did come up with a few questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. And I kind of already know what these answers are going to be, but I thought it would be fun anyway. Okay. How do you feel about all the 80s and 90s movie remakes that are coming out now? And we kind of touched on this earlier. Like,
leave well enough alone. Allow really creative people to come in and actually tell a story with the movies. And then you'll have good movies again, and you can leave all the old ones alone.
That's true. But what about the Evil Dead franchise? That's kind of like the exception, because like the originals are like comedies, and then you get really dark in the newer one. And then it's going to get really, really dark in the newer one. So,
I think that might be interesting. I would be willing to give it a go. I will say this. One of the things that I used to watch back in the day, and I still watch now, obviously I jumped a couple of years without watching it, but it's my soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I remember it coming on TV back when I was a kid, and I still watch it these days.
That shit's still
around.
Oh my God.
That shit is still around. Crazy.
I'm sure with all new cast.
No, actually, Jennifer Aniston's father just passed away, and he was one of the main characters on it.
So, do y'all think that growing up in the 80s and 90s was better than like the kids that have had to grow up in the 2000s?
Yes.
What do you think the best comparison is? Like, as far as like what makes it better? What makes the 80s and 90s better than?
We were free. In the 80s, we were free. We would go out when we woke up, and we didn't have to come back until the street lamps came on. And, you know, for the most of the time, we were safe. You know, I know that there was still crime in 84 that happened, but it wasn't as rampant as it is now. Now, you have to worry about everything. You can't just let your kids go and not, know what they're doing for 8 hours.
Well, we definitely didn't have shootings in schools and malls and all that stuff. And when it did happen, it was like super freaking rare.
Go
ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, it's a double-edged sword. But like the internet, obviously I love the internet for some things, but people are so into their phones these days, and, they isolate their family members and things like that compared to back in the day. We used to get together as family members, and like Tina said, all we had to worry about was if we were late for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to go with it. As soon as we hit the 2000s, we started getting smartphones and all that stuff, and it was just downhill from there.
And we're guilty of it.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. Well, we are all guilty of it.
Back when I was a kid, we used to sit on the toilet and read Reader's Digest.
Or the shampoo bottles.
Exactly, instead of the phone.
Megan has always taken it back to the toilet.
I had funny that shit. Yes.
So do you all have like a all-time favorite 80s or 90s movie? Like all time? You're so cute, honey.
I'm a movie buff. You can't do that to me.
Yes, I can. I just did.
Can I go down the list of genres?
Yes. Do it.
Mm.
Start with porn.
With what?
I'm kidding. No, I don't.
I can do that.
I'm kidding.
That's
I
funny
can do that. Okay, so I'll start with the easiest. My favorite scary movie from the 80s, Halloween. I know that the original was 78, but it carried into the 80s.
That was close enough.
So we'll say that one. Oh, goodness. Comedy. National Lampoons.
Which?
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
Just they started in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Actually, hold on.
I agree with you so far. You have great taste.
I could have swore that Vacation. Oh, maybe that was 83. I think Vacation actually came out in 83. I think, yeah.
And then I love all of like the Brat Pack movies. John Hughes, he revolutionized teenage movies. And I love his stuff. I'm trying to think of the one with Demi Moore, St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my very favorites.
I don't think I actually watched that one ever until I met you.
And now you've seen it way more than you wanted to.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie. I actually liked it. It wasn't like horrible or anything. Well, is that all you got? What about sci-fi?
Last Starfighter. Last Starfighter is my favorite.
What about kids movie? Like cartoon or whatever?
TV show, Punky Brewster.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I actually forgot about it, though. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything she's naming is, I concur.
My mom always compared me to Punky. She said that we were one and the same. Cartoon, I was a big Rainbow Bright fanatic.
What about you, Megan?
Obviously, everything you were saying, I concur. I loved the Brat Pack. Anything with Molly Ringwald was like just my jam. She was like the it for me.
Like Pennywise?
Cartoons.
They both had red hair.
For cartoons, obviously, I went to the movie theaters and seen the Care Bears, and I think that's probably when I first fell in love with them.
I saw that at the theater also. Yep.
My nursery took me. My daycare took me to see the Care Bears, and it was just like, oh, yes. And ever since then, I've been a Care Bear fanatic. I watched so many Saturday morning cartoons, so like Rainbow Bright, all that was also, I think every 80s child probably was obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
And with Scary Movie, I don't know, like, I like that. I was just scared of scary movies, so I didn't watch them very much. But now I can appreciate the Halloweens, the Freddy Kruegers. All
She
that
really
stuff.
loves the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Shut up. I'll tell you a little story about that real quick, real fast. So Tina, because she's a horror buff, she has me sleeping at her house one night, and we watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, I was a snorer back then, really bad. Before I had my CPAP machine. And we're laying in the bed. She's like, stop snoring. Stop snoring. So finally, she kicks me out of the bed into the living room. Well, back then, she had this big green refrigerator that it would make a noise every now and then.
It was on its last legs.
It sounded like a chainsaw. And I laid on that couch, shaking in my boots every time that refrigerator made that noise. Oh, Chainsaw Massacre was coming after me. And I stayed up all night long calling people on the phone, like, please stay up with me. Stay out with me, please. They're after me.
Chicken shit.
Come get her, Junior. So what do y'all think about the new Gremlins and Goonies sequels coming out?
Oh my God, I didn't know that was happening.
You know what? I can't believe I did not say Goonies.
Yeah, shame on
I just
you.
didn't think of it, but that is actually my all-time favorite movie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I didn't even think of that.
So how do you feel about a sequel coming out?
I had a brain fart. Now I feel bad. I don't want a sequel.
A sequel?
A sequel.
Oh.
I don't want them to do a sequel.
So you're not going to watch it?
You know I have to watch it, but I'm not going to enjoy it.
What about the Gremlins sequel? I mean, well, third Gremlins movie.
Okay, so it's going to be the same answer. Y'all, I am the person that is like, leave well enough alone. We don't need to keep redoing this shit. Leave it alone.
What are you freaking out
I
over?
remember. I just freaked out because we were talking about movies and our favorites. I love the Goonies. However, one of my very favorite movies was For Keeps. It had Molly Ringwald in it, and so I had to Google to see when it came out. Because it was Molly Ringwald, 1988. So that would fall in the same area. For Keeps was like one of my all-time favorite movies.
I figured your favorite would be Mac and Me.
I do like that. Shut up.
I love Mac and Me. Our kids love Mac and Me.
Yeah, that's true.
They watch it a lot.
All right, last question. Would you rather? It's a would you rather. All right. Would you rather go back to the 80s or the 90s?
80s.
80s.
90s
I gotta add something. I do have to add music. New Kids on the Block. They started in the 80s and ran into the 90s. Obsession. Obsessed.
You knew he wouldn't bring them up.
I know. I love the New Kids. Still, I'm a blockhead. Period.
I see. I think that the 90s had better like music and stuff. To be honest with you, like that's when they had Alice in Chains and Nirvana
disagree.
and all. Yeah, I have to agree to disagree. I didn't listen to all the disco crap.
Oh shit! House divided.
Yeah, can't do that.
Johnny's a metalhead,
and I was raised on like old country and stuff. So you know, my mom listened to all the classic rock stuff, but you know, I was raised by my grandparents, and they did old country. So
that was my grandparents. When I spent the night with them and stuff, they always listened to the older country stuff in the car. So I got a mixture of both. So I love all types of music personally. Like I can listen to country, then Christian, then rock, then pop, and like everything.
See, I never really got into like Def Leppard or anything like that. I always listened to like that was when I started listening to the heavy stuff. So
I love Def Leppard. Hysteria record with the pyramid on it. Love Bites. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Bon Jovi. Fuck yeah. Okay. Okay.
I was listening to like Slayer, Metallica, whatever, Obituary, all that stuff.
I was listening to whatever they played at the skating rink.
Oh, do you remember Stevie B?
I know the name.
Dream Love. It
Yes.
was music from the skate rink.
Yep.
Loved CBB. I have the CD still.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Y'all got anything else you want to talk about?
Yes.
Whoa.
Upcoming movies that we want to see,
Yep.
and the music that we like today.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
It's okay. So I talk a lot, so I'm not going to be the first person to go unless you want me to.
Well, you started it, so go ahead.
Okay, so 2 movies that I really want to see is
That she'll never see.
Megan, the scary movie Megan. Okay, so I have to see that, obviously. And I heard that there's a Winnie the Pooh scary movie coming out.
Yep.
Yep.
I want to see those. Those are 2 of my top 2 wants. Music. One of my favorite albums in the last year or 2 has been Post Malone. He had an incredible album, and nothing on that record sucked. I loved it, and I love working out with it. So does Tina. And then probably like my favorite song today, right now, because it screams positivity, and I'm all about trying to focus on myself and love myself and realize how amazing I am. And that is the song I Am Woman, or I Am, by Emmy. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible.
You're terrible, Muriel.
That's a good movie too. I Am. Let's see. Terrible. And I'm actually looking in the wrong department. I was looking in my text messages for the song.
I'm looking in the shoe department for a t-shirt. Come on, Megan.
Okay, I know her name was Emmy. Mm-mm. No, I'm terrible.
Google
I'm
it. Not you, them.
I'm butchering it. Yeah, you do that for me, boss.
No, I meant the viewers if they want to know who sings it.
Her name is Emmy, Emmy, and then it starts with her last name starts with an M. But it's I Am, and it screams positivity and about just embracing who you are and being proud of who you are. And that's what I'm focusing on right now. So that is like my power song for right now. It lifts me.
What you got, Tina?
Y'all know I have a long list because it's movies.
Of course.
So, the new Evil Dead. We already talked about that one. But M. Night, he's making a comeback, and he has one, Knock at the Cabin.
Is there a trailer out for it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh.
Yes, I cannot wait. I love M. Night Shyamalan. I can't ever say his last name. You're going to love this next one. Cocaine Bear.
That's already out. I think it's already out, isn't it?
What is that?
It's about a bear.
Go ahead.
It's about a bear that gets into a whole bunch of cocaine and then goes on a killing rampage.
So Teddy's cousin.
Sure. I love bears.
It's a real bear, though. It's like a grizzly that gets into it.
Oh, a real bear gets into cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh, who writes this shit?
I don't know. You want an innovation? There you go.
John Wick 4.
Yes. Yep. Hell yeah.
Cannot wait. Me and Johnny just finished watching the others so that we could get prepared for this one.
Hell yeah.
So you're going to have to make me watch them because I have never seen any of them.
HBO Max.
Just shoot me.
Good show.
The new Indiana Jones, which is also the last.
Yep.
Got to see that one. And I'm so excited for this one. Mission Impossible has another one coming out.
Yes. Yeah, I just saw the trailer for that the other day.
Yes, I cannot wait. I love those movies. Johnny turned me on to those. I'd never watched those, but I fell in love with them.
Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Tom Cruise in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never seen Mission Impossible.
Of course not.
But I've seen some Tom Cruise movies. Does that count? Risky Business and shit. I see that eye roll.
Not for you. I just saw the next one on my list.
Uh-oh.
65.
Yeah, you want to see that?
Dude, I've had to go look.
I love you. She hates Adam Driver because of Star Wars.
Dude, he killed Han Solo. He is forever in my book. But I'm going to see this because I went and watched, and it looks like it's going to be really good. I'm just going to try to pretend like it's not him.
Well, it's not Kylo Ren, honey. It's a whole different character.
It doesn't matter. I still see Kylo Ren every time I look at Adam Driver.
Well, he's that good of an actor.
Talking like a different language to me right now. I'm like, I don't know. What shade of I don't know. It's just terrible.
The new Little Mermaid. I cannot wait to see that.
Is that coming to the theater or going straight to Disney?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Also, did you know there is a new Transformers?
Yes, Rise of the Beast. Yep.
Gotta see that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see that.
They're gonna bring in Beast Wars.
I wish they'd bring back Shia.
Oh no, we can't do that. Can't do that.
I like Shia.
When did Mortal Kombat come out in the movies?
Mortal Kombat.
What?
I had that soundtrack.
Oh, you're talking about the original?
Hey, Johnny.
What?
Get over here.
Get over here.
Finish him.
Finish him. Well, you know that a new one came out last year, and it was really good. And the new one is
Yeah, you and Chris watched that.
Yep. And they got a new one coming out. I think I'm not sure if production's still going on right now or not, but I know they got a new one coming out, and it's gonna be good. The guy that played what's his name? Damn it, what's the ice guy's name? My brain just went completely blank. Sub-Zero. The guy that plays Sub-Zero in the new one has already signed on for like 4 movies or something like that.
Dude, I totally spazzed out for a second and forgot what we were talking about. And you said, who's the ice guy? And I thought Val Kilmer.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Isn't he ill?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about that. Shh.
Yeah,
all right. No. Sorry. That was a good movie. Sorry.
Would you like to share with the class, Megan?
I just thought about Top Gun. I went and seen Top Gun last year and fell in love with it.
That movie was really good.
Now that...
They did yep. Go ahead.
I hate the reboots. I hate the remakes. But they did a badass job with that.
See, I want them to do that kind of job with Gremlins
all of them.
And Goonies. Well, especially like the classics. You can't go in and just fuck it up and then be done with it like that.
But see, if they did all of them like that, I wouldn't have such a problem. They paid so much homage. How do you say that? Homage? I'm fucking it up.
I don't know.
They really go back to the original. You got the same songs, the same people. They did it right.
See, that's how I felt about the new Christmas Story. It was it really felt like it was just a continuance of that story.
Well, that was a continuance. It wasn't a remake.
Neither was Maverick.
Oh, well, you're right.
That was a sequel.
You're right.
So,
maybe that's what
one movie. One movie that I was disappointed in that did something like that, and that was Dirty Dancing, when they tried to do
Havana
Nights. No, thank you. There was no touching, like Patrick Swayze, and no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
But if they could do Goonies as well as they did Maverick, I could get behind it.
See, that's what I was saying. If they do Goonies and Gremlins that same way in A Christmas Story, if they do it that same way, then I think it'll be just up there. But
is everybody even still alive from that cast?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the father and stuff isn't. But
from either of them,
yeah.
One thing I can appreciate was It because I thought it was better than the old It. Didn't it? I just recently watched it.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, but to be
That's
fair,
one of those
the
sequels.
original It was TV miniseries.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I hate to go against Tim Curry because I love Tim Curry. But even though the original It scared the hell out of me as a kid, going back watching it as an adult, I fall asleep. It was boring. So watching the new one with Bill Skarsgård, he really brought that to life and made it scary.
He's coming out as the new Crow also. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. I think he's going to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Johnny.
What's up?
Because I know one of your absolutely all-time favorite movies is Ghostbusters. How did you feel about the remake or the new?
Like Afterlife, the newer one that just came out. Came out. I loved it. I loved it. I loved that they the way that ended. I loved the way that they brought all of them back together. I could have used a little bit more of the original cast throughout the movie, but yeah, I think they did. I think they gave the cast and stuff a brilliant send away, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
See, I think I'm good with the sequels, but not when they try to go back and remake the original.
Well, I think that the new one is only going to have Ernie Huston. What is it? Ernie Huston or something like that. Winston, the guy who plays Winston.
Oh.
As far as I know, he's the only one that's going to be doing it. But he's going to be he's going to end up being the business owner now, and then they're of course going to bring in the kids or whoever they're bringing in to be Ghostbusters.
I'm going to miss Bill and Dan.
Well,
did you ever watch the one? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you ever watch the Ghostbusters with the women version?
I did.
And if so, what did you think?
Did you not hear us earlier?
Well, all right. So let me tell you.
Obviously, I didn't.
What they tried to do was messed up, and that's what I don't like about it. It wasn't that it was a bad movie, and it wasn't that it was super horrible. What they tried to do was come in and completely wipe out everything that had already been done with the original films and turn it into something else. And that's what I had a problem with. For what it wasn't a bad movie. It was just the fact that they went and they were trying to completely screw what had already happened with the original films. And that's where I got to where, and I think this is the way it was for a lot of fans of the original Ghostbusters, is that they just went in and completely just try to screw it over. And I did not like that. And apparently a lot of other people didn't like that. So
maybe they should have made it similar, but not maybe named it Ghostbusters.
It should have been their daughters.
Yeah, had it been something like that, then it would have been, a little different. But maybe a whole, had they not tried to take those characters from the original movies and change them into completely something else, I think it would have been different than them having, say, them opening up a Ghostbusters business in some other state, or something that happened in another state, or do something like that, but don't just sit there and try to take over what's already been accomplished. That's where I have a really hard time with remakes and shit.
I think they listened to the fans, and that's why they, in the last one, they brought in the clips from the first movie and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because this was an actual sequel. The Afterlife was a continuance of the story from the original movies, whereas the 2016 they were trying to revamp the entire thing, and it didn't work out because basically all they did was piss on the original.
Right.
And that's how I feel about it.
And that's how I feel about that.
That's right. So what else y'all got? You good?
I mean, you know me, I can talk shit all day long, so I think I'm good. I think this was a success. I enjoyed it.
Well, let's see how many viewers we get. And then we'll call it a success or not.
It was a success for me.
For me too.
I had fun, whether I have 5 people watching or 500 watching or 1,000. This is something that we are passionate about, and that's all that matters.
That's true.
But next time I want to talk about ghosts.
You can talk about whatever you want. I told you, we don't have any limits on it.
I have so many subjects. Like, I even thought about predictions. Like, what kind of predictions were in this year and what came to surpass?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I remember we did talk about that. So write your notes and get everything together, and then we'll throw it all together.
Yep. So y'all are going to want to come back next week because we're going to have some good stuff.
That's right.
Heck yeah.
Every week. Well, actually, pretty soon it's going to be every other week because I'm only getting every other weekend off.
We need a theme song, but don't leave me to pick it.
No. I've already got music and all that stuff. We're good.
Thank God, because I am horrible at doing that shit. $100 down the drain later.
All right. Well, if y'all are done, I am done. So,
see you next week.
Good night. Good night. Bye-bye.
Back to the future.